Tall Trees began around about 10 years ago. My long-term partners and I were contemplating a site over in Roachdale, and when we looked at that we thought, okay, well perhaps some version of a rental model might work there in the retirement industry. That's what the industry stalwarts suggested to us at the time. We took a close look at that, and Alan and I, who've been partners now for 23 years, sat down and thought, well, from a social and moral point of view, we think that we could do better than what was around. So what we did was we took a close look at the institutional end of the industry and also the retirement end of the industry, and worked very hard to come up with a model that really we bounced off our parents and asked them, well, look, you know, in a perfect world, what would you want?
And I have a mum who, she's 74 now, and I'm often bouncing ideas off her about, you know, how would this be for you? What do you think about this particular part of care, or the way that a village is constructed, or how you would interact with other people or with staff? And to have that real feedback, to have that real understanding, particularly from the person that you perhaps love most, and then develop a business model around that, I guess is the thing that invigorates me and excites me most about why we're doing this. We're doing something quite literally as if it was solely set up to accommodate the needs of your own parents. So that said, I guess my role in the business is in operations and in development. So you have this kind of energy that you try and permeate through all the things that you influence, all the people that you influence. And even from a design perspective for a development, you throw that energy into the architects and the engineers and the planners and the project managers. And it really does lead to outcomes that centre around what you're trying to achieve. And even external consultants start to get caught up in this energy play that is exciting.
So I've always had a passion for all things technical. So my role as Director of Admin and IT at Tall Trees suits me down to the ground. We currently have 5 villages and a corporate office, and so it's like running mini hospitals around the country. We need to service them regardless of whether it's 2 o'clock on a Sunday morning or it's a weekday business hours. All issues IT need to be fixed immediately for the well-being of our residents. So even though IT is normally very technical in nature, we like to try and keep things simple so that all mums, including your mum, could understand it. All our systems, including Nurse Call, need to run smoothly and 24/7, and we have staff available if we need to, even at 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning, as well as business hours during the week. We must keep things running smoothly.
And I can vividly remember my mum saying to me, I can tell you what I don't want, Phil. I don't want my independence taken away. You know, I don't want to be told what to do. I want to be able to bring Honey with me, Honey's mum's dog. I want the grandkids to be able to stay. I want all of those things. And look, I'm smart enough to know that at a certain point I'll need care, and I want that there too. But I can't see that at the moment. I can't get that. And by the way, I like the idea of it being my home. So I want all of those things. So we went away and we talked about that, Alan and I and Peter, and went, you know what, we can do this better than what's available now. At least we can offer something different. And that's where Tall Trees was born. So we got together and had a good close look at that, and decided what we needed to do was to build all of those things in that our mums basically told us. And if we can do that in a way where we wrap all of the things that our parents wanted without encroaching on their lifestyle, then we'd be on a winner. And that's where it began.
So every residence unit has a number of fixed and mobile call points for Nurse Call, and whenever any of those systems are triggered, they send a page to the carers on staff, and the carers can react immediately. All these calls are also recorded on a system, and we check response times to those calls. The normal time for response is less than 2 minutes.
One of the other things that makes, I guess, Tall Trees stand out from all the other options in Australia is it's like a family business. There's not these great levels of hierarchical management. Being a shareholder and the Director of Operations and Development, and being on site virtually every day at the coalface, you get to interact and see and influence the direction and the outcomes of the business in a way that you don't see and you wouldn't have the capacity to do if you were in a big organisation that was slow to move. You had to seek approval from various levels of management. We're very nimble, we're able to move very quickly, and we've got our finger on the pulse. And I actually find it immensely satisfying to be able to go, as I do every other day, to our various care communities and meet with our residents and our staff and look at our built forms and the functionality and the issues and create, I guess, continuous improvement around what you actually see real time. It's very much hands-on, and that's immensely satisfying to see an immediate response to continuous improvement. And to be in a position to be able to immerse yourself completely every day at the coalface is a real privilege and a real thrill.
Peter, Alan and I, we often sit down and we take a good look at what we can do with all things at Tall Trees to improve what we deliver to our residents. And I guess the litmus test is we take a good close at everything, bearing in mind what our mums say to us. And certainly if it's not good enough for our mums, then it's just not good enough.